Most people manifest from their mind. Here, you remember how to manifest from your heart. I am Rish, and this is Reality Unlimited. Let's drop in.
Episode 28 was about logical mind versus higher mind and how your higher mind is the king. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about what happens when the memories of our past takes over our present reality through the logical mind. You can check it out now or after listening to this episode, and it would be really helpful to build a framework for this. So how many times in your life it has happened that there's a business meeting, a big decision that you get to make, or something that you want to share with the person, and the anxiety and the fears of the past take over? And most of the times we either suppress those emotions or let them create our reality, create the circumstances in our lives. However, there is a third way. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So there is a reality that's already happening in every moment, which is very much detached from the past. And we get to experience that when we are simply in the moment, being present with what life is showing us and taking care of it. But there's another reality that takes over when we are in our loops of the past, which we also call karmic cycles. And that's what creates a cyclical reality in the future, because literally the energy that you carry and the awareness that you give to it is going to create your reality. So the circumstances that we discussed, which create anxiety, fear, sadness, they hijack our logical mind, and then logical mind wants to predict the future based on what has happened in the past. And when we give up to those energies, to those dense emotions without doing the real work, then literally those predictions come true and the mind says, see, I said so. But that is happening only because we are giving up to those emotions instead of doing the real work of feeling them, integrating that energy, and coming back into seeing the reality clearly after that, so that we can create a new destiny rather than being in the cyclical loop of the past. So you can literally see this as two different timelines. One that is your highest destiny, which is happening in the place where you're present and you are getting out of the loop of your past so that you can create a new destiny. And then there's another software running which is always destined to create future based on the past, and it will always create the life that is full of suffering and is not desired by you because it's a life that is out of control. If you want to create a life that is more in line with your true desires, your dreams and goals, I'm going to share with you this process that I use to integrate those emotions every time something from the past comes up, and channel them so that I can see more clearly every time I do this work. I can shift into my higher destiny every time I make this choice. So every time you feel an anxiety about a certain decision that you're going to make or an experience you're going to have, and your mind is predicting something that is unfavorable for you, that is something that you don't desire, and it is clearly based on the past predicting the future, then simply come into the presence. Be present with those emotions, because emotion is energy in motion. It's trying to tell us something. So coming back into the presence and listening to those emotions. How does it feel in the body? Having the courage to feel it fully. Listening to it. There would be stories attached to it. And being with it for as long as it needs you to be with it, without letting your mind predict your future based on that, because you know that your future is not based on your past. You can literally shift your destiny in a split second in the now. And at the same time, not taking any action based on that energy. Because energy does not want you to take action. Energy wants you to listen to it, be with it, simply flow with it. So be with that energy, listen to what it's saying, feel it in your body fully. Feel the pain of your past self, what it has felt in the past that it is so scared right now, it's so anxious right now to experience that same reality. Treat it like your younger sister or brother. And as you feel it, you be with those emotions, you'll see that energy simply wants to dissolve because it simply wants to be heard and listened to. It could be a couple of hours, days, or even more. But being with that state would really shift your state of being and how you manifest in the future as well, how clearly you see later on. It's a complete shift of software. So if you choose to create a different destiny, this is the path forward in a more permanent way. And you'll see that simply in some time, as the process gets completed and you do it fully with all your awareness and presence, the energy would simply merge with your current self, and you would be able to see those circumstances not only that time, but any time in the future something similar comes up. You'll be able to see it clearly and choose from an aligned state, whatever your inspiration is, and that would be a new destiny for you over and over. So instead of giving up to it or ignoring it, now you get to feel it and listen to it. This is something that I use in my processes in my life every time this happens, and it's so powerful because not only I'm thinking of the now, I'm simply shifting my state of being to operate differently in my whole lifetime. And as I do that, I start seeing clearly every time. Every time something similar happens, I'm seeing clearly. There's no anxiety, there's no similar prediction from the past. And I can take actions in so much more aligned way. It's simply transformative. So that's it for now. And I would close this episode with a question for you to reflect on. Where in your life right now is your old fear predicting the future? And what would shift if you simply feel and listen to it instead of giving up to it? Reflect on it and feel free to share with me. I'll see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful week. Take care.
Whatever shifted in you, trust it. If this landed for you, someone in your life needs to hear it too. Find me on Instagram at I am Rish Gupta. Your reality is unlimited.